Hey guys, it's Brian from Arrowhead Garage, and today we're back in the garage working on the old 67 Firebird, and we're going to try to upgrade its cooling system by ditching that 4-blade fan that we pulled off that 1963 327 motor and installing a used, what is that, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-blade clutch fan on this bad boy. And we're getting rid of that universal radiator that we bought off of eBay 5 years ago when we brought the Firebird home, and replacing it with one of those radiators that Louie over at First Generation Garage suggested to buy off of Amazon. So with that, let's get into today's episode on Firebird Friday. So I picked up this 7-blade fan, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-blade fan off of eBay. It is used. It does have the correct 4-bolt pattern for a Pontiac, and has the clutch on the front, but it's nasty. Look at that. That's grody, even on the backside. So let's see if we can first clean this up to where it will look pretty up on the car, because we're getting painted in a few weeks. So let's grab some engine degreaser and let's see where we can go with this. All right, Walmart engine degreaser. We'll see how this works on it. We're going to spray it down and see. Man, that gets everywhere. So it says wait 5 minutes, so we'll give it 5 minutes and we'll come back and we'll spray this off. I need another stogie. All right, so it's been 5 minutes and I can already see the numbers in this. Let's grab the water hose. Let's spray it down. Well, it didn't do such a good job on this, but that center hub, that's much better. All right, let's spray that degreaser on this side, give it 5 more minutes. Let's see about this side. Okay, give it some time. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's put her down. It's definitely cleaning off the center pieces, but these fins, it does not like that too much. Not at all. All right, let's take it back inside and see what we can do to clean this up. So it's still grimy and pitted a little bit. So I'm thinking, what if we used a wire wheel on a drill and see what happens. Let's go right here on this one. And are you effing serious? Okay. Really? 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 Fine, we'll use the battery off the impact. All right, back to work. Now getting into those tight spots, that might be. That's not too shabby. I could probably live with that. Look at that difference. And again, just flip it over. Let's try it on this one on this side here. Jam it in there. Look at that. That's a... Okay. We're doing this. Well, this thing here did the best job of getting all that grime. As you can see, it is now silver, not so grimy, both front and the back. Not 100% perfect, but again, it's not a show car. This is a daily driver. I think this is good enough that we can now get to work on some other things in the Firebird. So let's get into it. Go ahead and take that off there. Next, we're going to remove that lower radiator hose. Put a pan underneath there to catch all that radiator fluid that comes out. We want to drain the system. Pull that back. There shouldn't be much water that comes out of this one. Yeah, not much at all. Next, there's a series of bolts that hold the radiator to the chassis here. Series of bolts that hold the radiator to the core support. We'll get those taken off, plus snip off these zip ties that kept all this on because it's not the right radiator for the car. Don't judge me, people. It was early. We have two bolts that are holding this into place, and they're not even hand tight. So I'm going to pull those out real quick here. And these are not the correct bolts either for the application. They just fit. Okay, got that little bracket off. Now for these transmission hoses, we're going to put a little green tape on this one. That way I know that is the top one, and we'll get that off. And then there's one down below. I'm going to take out the bolts that hold it in. One there. Nothing. Oh, only one bolt there. There's one here. Is there one down here? Oh, hey, look at that. Only two bolts. Hold the whole thing in there. it comes. Next are the 4 bolts here. Okay, let's get these off. There comes one. I'm going to take the whole assembly right off there. Safe to assume that a early 60s 4-bladed fan versus I guess a modern 60s and 70s, late 60s, 70s 7-blade fan will do a lot more cooling in the Firebird. Comment down below and let me know which one you think is the better choice of fans. Down below, comment. So we have both fans side by side. And if you notice, the smaller 4-blade fan has this little standoff that you need for these type fans because they don't have the little standoff there. But the problem became that these were the bolts that I needed to attach this. I had to go all the way through there and then into the pulley. Well, they weren't going to fit, as you can see. So I had to run to the hardware store and pick up some smaller ones, and now these here will just go right in, put a washer down there, and I think we're good to go. So let's take it over to the car and let's see if we can get this in. One. That's number 2. I'm going to just put these in hand tight and we'll tighten them down. Spin that around. This other one. So the key here is to make sure that you get the bolt through the fan, through the pulley, and then into the water pump. Now for the fan shroud. Now, I had to modify this a while back when I had that other one in here. There we go. So go ahead and we'll sit that in there, and now let's check out. Now let's check out this radiator that we got. See if we can open up this bad boy. All right. Get this out of the bag. Check that out. So it came with one nozzle. Oh, it's probably for the drain there. So we'll keep that off to the side. All right, so we got the radiator in. It doesn't quite match up 100% to the two bolt holes on this side. The two bolt holes on this side does not match up 100%. I was able to get the bottom one to kind of line up with an already existing hole in the core, and the top one over here. So they're like that. It is stable. It's somewhat level. It's just a little skewed to this one side, but I think we'll be fine. Next, I want to tighten down the bolts with this support up here. Okay, now what I'm running into is this. It's hitting, and I can't move it. If I move it that far, then because right there is the lineup hole. Right there. It's dragging. It's hitting on the bottom. Yep, right in there. Now I'm way off. Now I get no hitting. But that doesn't line up with anything. That's hitting again. Okay, we have the radiator in. The fan is still hitting the shroud, and obviously the shroud is not lining up correctly. And Louis says it should line up perfectly, which I have. If this is installed correctly, then this should be. But it's, it is what it is, I guess, at this point. Let's get some fluid in this bad girl, and let's see what we can do. So we need 1 gallon of concentrate coolant and 1 gallon of distilled water. So let's get this filled up. Okay, here we go. And we're leaking somewhere. We forgot to put our nipple on. That was our leak. We forgot to install this. Of course not. And once the car is painted, I do have a overflow tank. Even though the early cars didn't come with one, I'm going to put one in. Now for our gallon of distilled water. Now we're going to start the car up, get it up to temperature to where this thermostat will open up, and then we can get our circulation going and then top this off. And we have a dead battery. So let's just go ahead and we'll use our little jump box here. There's a link in the description if you want to get yourself one of these. But it's pretty simple. 90 degrees. We're gonna let that warm up. Go and hook this up. We'll put this one over here. We'll set it. All right, guys, so we got her up to this temperature. We made sure that thermostat opened up and we were having circulation. We topped her off. She's running beautifully. She's running right at like 175, 180, which is right where she needs to be. So the new 7-blade fan, that new radiator that Louis at First Generation Garage suggested, and there's a link down below where you can get one too. It's off Amazon, 140 bucks, 150 bucks, something like that. Easy to install, as you can tell in this video. So with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Go get me an ice cold beer or something else. And I'll see you tonight, because we're doing a Firebird Friday live, which we're not calling it Firebird Fridays anymore because we want to open it up to everyone that has a classic car. So we're going to call on it Friday Night Wrenching. So again, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 o'clock out here in Arizona, or the West Coast people. And I have one more thing I need to say. Be right back. So one of the things I have been missing on this car is the dashboard. Wherever it happened to it, I don't know, but we've been missing it. And a few years ago at Firebird Fest there in St. Louis, I met a guy with a 67 Firebird as well. And he's like, you know what, Brian? His name is Bill O'Brien. And he's like, I think I have an extra dash. It may need to be reupholstered, but it's yours if you want it. And I said, absolutely, dude, send it to me. Well, it showed up and it's here. We'll be doing a video on how to reupholster one of these dashes and put it into your Firebird. That's a video coming up. So with that, I'm going to shut up, get to drinking some beers. You guys check us out live tonight. Louie and John and all of us will be there. Make sure you tune in to our live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Arizona time. And with that, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you for another Firebird Friday, because we're getting closer and closer to painting this old bird, probably within a few weeks. Be ready for that one. Have a good one.